Most of them youth, don't see the music as, proper, Them see the music as a way out of poverty, a way out of getting a car, a way out of getting a house, a way out of looking for them family. So it's not like them use the music as music. You see this present day dancehall music here, where we see I go on about the players, the trap music and the trapper them and all these things. It's the thing. It really the thing, the whole society. And when a man tell you the music now have nothing to do with nothing, it's foolish to see my talk. Because him was influenced by our next DJ, and our next DJ was influenced by the next DJ. So don't talk about say it's the parents them should not look after them. The parents them is looking after them picnic as far as them can do it. You is responsible for take it to the next level. You don't responsible for carry it, go way down in the pit. And I hear some big artists or some big dreadlocks, respectable Rastaman I tell man. How come mothers become a bad word all of a sudden? Man used to talk that long time, but it's the first time. If you tell a man that, you hear them fight. No, it's a normal thing like Ras. You know, man, that's a Ras. Mothers become bad word, Rasta. Your mother become a bad word. When a man tell me that it's a bad word, you tell him, So how it reach a stage, How it reach a stage where a man just make video with man in a body bag and gonna run around the car and all them things there. And you to watch that and who not talk about say that now have nothing to do with nothing. It's mad no mad man. Because you can make little money here, so no money there, so money here, so when you think say money is the power. Look here man. You say today for you and tomorrow for me, it's straight going on. So you really depend on the IRS right now. And you can make some money and whole heap of girls and champagne and all them something there. But watch down the line. Because the same thing where your project out there going to turn back and bite you. Because when you're a little youth, we watch the YouTube and the this and the that. When them grow big and see them something and see them father, a project them something there, what you think him going to do? When them grow up in a system, in a community, where all them can hear and all them something there, and him start to and everybody will laugh when him say it. I see some video where they come 5 years old that say everybody will laugh like it's a joke thing. What are you dealing with? After Jamaica put the world on the map, I'm going to say Jamaica put the world on the map because the world was so such a stage where Jamaica come rise up that with the music and liberate a whole heap of people that them distress in our apartheid system, in our struggles, right across Europe and Africa. The music uplift the people them and carry the people them on a certain level. And now we see some little youth are going like them not have no sense. And you don't have sense, you don't have sense. But see this little money vibes and this, that and girls vibes. Watch when you no grow tight when you go in though. A whole heap of ones, can remember me tell her daughter say watch what happen, And I say now, 30 years, 20 odd years after me see she turn Christian. And now against other ones now. After me don't tell her for a long time. But watch her now, you see the thing going out. You're sorry for Magadog and Magadog turn around and bite you. And right now, I tell you now, you don't mess up the thing. You don't carry the thing going right down in the abyss. You don't carry the thing on a level and nowhere. I tell you, it's dangerous. Dangerous.
We go and dance, go listen, and jump up when them here say, kill a Batman and all them something there. So now, we know say, the promotion of homosexuals, make it reach this point, was done by the DJ them. Is it DJ them? Give the homosexuals big voice right now that them can come out so loud now to attack Jamaican people, And why we say that now? But make me talk about something here. I want to talk about something here, Rasta. A couple of weeks ago we did that talk about how everybody by now know that the sponsors, these companies who usually sponsors reggae show, come out and say them going go boycott artists who profess violent lyrics, as them call it. Violent lyrics. Them claim say them going to protest it. Them not going to put no money behind a reggae show that have no artists that chant no violent things in the society because violence is big in the society. We did come out and we did say, well, it's a hypocritical thing because, ironically, because them did have a man, the sister, entertainment buzz, it have a man from Digicel who did that. And when he was asked the question, is it because of the pressure of the homosexual community in England why these sponsors decide to do this now? The man said, no, it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. Well, we hear it from internal. We have some little people where internal that at that meeting, specific meeting, it was a toss-up about boycotting homosexual lyrics. And somebody in the meeting say, no, you can't come out and tell Jamaica, say, you're going to boycott homosexual lyrics. So them decide, so them are going to say, them are going to boycott violent lyrics. That is hypocritical because me don't know, say, it's not violent lyrics them against, it's homophobic lyrics according to them. Because violence in the music for a long time against the woman them, gun music, gun lyrics, and no sponsor never come out and say them nah sponsor no show with violence in the music. Until some guy some homosexual guy in England now come out now, you hear everybody a jump on it now and I say, well, yes, too much violence. Violence in the music, and we call pan for years now, we are called pan radio station, we are called pan artists, we say stop the foolishness. We even talk about the whole heap of homophobic so-called lyrics were in the music, and we said, you not promote the people, them want to stop do it. The gun lyrics now work out, the abuse against the women them in the music. So the man them come out now hypocritically. I want to make mention that we didn't even mention Warrell King in the program, because we did say when Warrell King did have him band, when starting band name saying say him now back certain artists. I think him say him that one time when they supposed to back ladies him say him now back ladies whole heap of people say a foolishness that, this and that, a foolishness that. Alright? It go on, we see now. Them come out now, so them getting violence lyrics. Well, it's lie them telling. These people who come up, these sponsors, cause we, when we say we now, we are talking about cutting edge as no Mutabaruka. Cause it's only one man can take off his program off of the radio. And that is Mr. Young West Dog Dive Officer. So, and we are saying, watch out now. Those sponsors is hypocritical. And if a guy come tell you, say, it's because him now come to, it's like a little bird come flying at me and say too much violence in the music. From 1980s, violence in the music, and none of them never said them go boycott it until now. And we there upon the radio attack every day. We all cuss all this radio station because this radio station are guilty and enough things. This radio station where we see we attack upon here so now. It come like nobody not dead if you listen to certain music we are play upon the radio. The lyrics are certain music we play upon the radio, especially in the day. You know see, because we there at the night, so and we there play certain music when people go to bed, much less in the bright day. It's like people now listen to tune because every tune play upon radio now, you know, every tune. You have IRFM, we have play the madness, Zipper play the madness, Fema play the madness. I mean, you name it, them play the madness. Nobody now curtail we are going, so it get out of hand. Alright, so now these sponsors who never did listen to the radio all the while, because them don't know nothing about radio. All them know say boy them can't make a money off a certain show. Them come now and them tell people say boy right now them against violence in the lyrics, in the music. So them not put nothing. And me I declare say, them not against violence in the music. Them against the homophobic lyrics in the music. You know why we say so now? Because Sting, the greatest one-night show unheard according to them. Sting said, them going to make the artists them sign. Listen to where I go on now, you know. Them going to make the artists them sign, say, them not going to promote no homophobic lyrics pan Sting. Watch a man. Homophobic lyrics pan Sting is not the problem, you know. You know what is the problem? The throwing of buckle. That is the problem. But every year you hear say, no buckle now go enter in the place, no buckle now, and man throw a buckle same way. You know what is the problem? The problem is not the homophobic lyric. The problem is a man come up and say, man fi dead, gunshot in a marrow and this and that and kill man in a this and that and all them things. Now you hear the woman talk about AK, throw the AK over the wall and all them things there. You think a lie she tell? You have dance go so no, you know. AK-47 coming and lyrics no, you know, Rasta. Alright. Where the hypocrite them there? Where the hypocrite them there, Rasta? Some little guys from England telling us that we have to stop homophobic lyrics. And now, still now, I got ban homophobic lyrics. So what I'm to all the other gun lyrics them? Oh no, me no hear nobody attack the gun lyrics that perpetuate itself amongst youth, young people who are listening to certain artists. They don't know nothing about Jimmy Cliff and Dennis Brown and all them man. They don't know about Vibes Cartel and County Killer and all them man there. You know see it? What happened to these lyrics? We incite violence. We don't talk about violence against specific people. We are talking about violence against Jamaican people. Me can't call him, you know, come here call all them, you know, come bridge, you know. And if a man can't take criticism and feel me a fight against him, I feel bad luck that. Alright. The bridge name Anthony B. I talked to Anthony B one time and I say, Anthony B, why every time you go up on the stage, you have to lick up, you have to talk about homosexual Rasta? You can't find, I mean, me hear you with some lyrics, Rasta. Can you remember when the first time Anthony B make a tune with band? And me call Anthony B on Tony Rebel show and say, Anthony B, cut the music and say the poem, say the song without the lyrics. And when them did band that tune there, and me stuck so I read the lyrics from the radio. Alright. Anthony B, me look at Anthony B and me say, Anthony B. Yeah, me say, Anthony B, why every time you go up on the stage, you can't say something else without I talk about homosexual Rasta, because sometimes when you say them things, the man start to look for you for the know that start to say, wait, I wonder if muta about the man or today. Alright. You know what he said to me? He said, boy, if you go up on the stage and not mention homosexual, him bridging them, I go say, him bow. What kind of talk that? Yeah.
If you want to take a stand, take a stand.
Yeah. That means him not take a stand, you know. I'm bridging them, he might try stand up so the boy right now, for me not say him bridging them, I go feel that way. So that lead me to say now, say, a whole heap of artists really go up on the stage because him feel say him bridging.
Insecurity.
Insecurity. Alright now. So we go now. So still now, come now and say no homophobic lyrics. What happened to the gun lyrics them? The violent lyrics them? What happened to the lyrics them where degrade the Jamaican black woman?
A man can come and sting and come say put the AK over the wall.
A man can come and sting and say anything but don't say nothing against homosexuals. You don't understand talk?
Yeah.
And this is the talk now, you know, Rasta. A man can come and sting and say anything but don't say nothing against homosexual. What kind of madness that, Rasta? Me vex about it, you know. Me vex about it, Rasta, because you tell me now, say, an artist can't say nothing. Because I talking against homosexual don't mean say I'm homophobic, you know. I am not homophobic, you know, Rasta.
And that is the distinction where only for people
don't make him see if you go say homosexual, you're homophobic.
You would want to kill them or something.
No, it's not so it go. You can't go tell. Watch your man, you can't tell a nation of people. Say, you know what? Talk about anything else, but don't talk about homosexual on a show, Rasta. No, that get kind of weird now. It get kind of weird, Rasta. You know why it get kind of weird? Here why it get kind of weird now. We're going to talk about Cape Town now. Alright. We have a newspaper here from England. Now, couple weeks ago, we mentioned an article where some homosexuals did a lick against Thatchell. And them say that them not really mind the lyrics them. Because as a matter of fact, them feel good. You remember? When them hear TOK tune, them say the Chichi tune with TOK though would be more accepted in a homosexual club than a heterosexual club. So them don't personally not really mind it. So them not really watch Thatchell. Alright, so you have a whole heap of homosexual out there, including Jamaica. We go a dance, go listen, and jump up when them hear say Killer Batman and all them something there. So now we know say the promotion of homosexuals, make it reach this point, was done by the DJ them. Is a DJ them. Give the homosexuals big voice right now that them can come out so loud now to attack Jamaican people, you know. And why we say that now? This article in the New Nation magazine, newspaper, the headline, thank you, Thatchell. Big picture Capleton. Anti-reggae protests is free PR, says Capleton. Alright. Psychologically, Capleton are used where the homosexual them use to justify say why them not really mind it. So Capleton now in the article say, why him not really mind where they want to write now because it give no publicity. Alright. Which is not the Batman used to say that. Yeah, they must say about him, no, they say. Yeah, they must say no, them no mind that these guys that say these things because look they know, Tashel name become headline everywhere in the world now, you know, Rasta. Me see them mention Jamaica about homosexual thing from Jamaica, from CNN this morning, you know. Alright. Here the article say now, controversial reggae star Capleton has expressed his gratitude to gay rights campaigners for giving him free media exposure. This is what the homosexuals were saying, that the DJs was giving them free media exposure. One hand is washing the other, no, you know. One hand is washing the other, no, alright. Speaking exclusively to New Nation last week, Capleton thanked Peter Tashel. Now, Peter Tashel is the head, is him start the whole furor about the thing. And the outrage campaign for providing him with free publicity to promote his latest album. He said, I want to thank Peter Tashel. This is quoting Capleton now. I want to thank Peter Tashel. Now, this is not when I lick against Capleton, because you know, you have some idiot boy out there now, when they attack this deal, you're muta. When I attack him, we just say that we're good for the goose, good for the gander. And that same like, oh, we did show them say, them are promote homosexuals. It's so now we see the homosexuals are promote them. You understand? So a man must check out the ideas, the psychology behind the thing, you know. Alright. He said, quote, I want to thank Peter Tashel. I'm grateful to him and his organization for all their publicity. I've been in the business for 13 years and I've never had so much attention from the press. No, this is what Peter Tashel is saying in England, you know. Yeah. See, a long time he was homosexual and he never get so much promotion until now, you know, Rasta. You know, see it? Alright. News agency, this is continuing now with Capleton said. News agencies from all over the world want to speak to me. CNN, NBC, and some of the biggest newspapers in America. I've never had so much publicity before, even when I was in the Billboard charts. Brethren.
Like a marriage.
Yeah, brethren. No. We give thanks for certain things in Rasta, but you see things that come up to bump, you see things come up to bump, you know, Rasta. It come up to bump, you know. This is the bump, you know, it's like festa, you know, and it want a nigga to push like make the bump go down, you know.
It reached that point where they just have to go just cut out them lyrics there, you know.
They know since where happen, man. They know since where happen. You know since where happen, brethren. Me I say. But we no business with them, Rasta. Me no business with them. Because if a man bring it to me, you know, me know me can go do him, you know, Rasta. Police, thief, or nobody, you know, me no business, you know, Rasta. If a man ever bring that to me, you know. I mean, me no believe in a killing, you know, Rasta. But if a man ever bring that to me. No, me, Bars, watch a man. Me not business with where a man want to road there, so. But you see, come in my little space, you know. This way you're in my space, you know. Me and you in a problem. You understand? I mean, I go preach a man to kill you. Me not go do it. But me know why you come in my space. Yes. And you can't tell me no, say. If me see something over there, so. If me see a prostitute over there, so. Me can't say where right now. Prostitution, yeah, prostitution not really something where you should really deal with. I mean, I understand prostitution, but me not see. They just tell me, say, me can't talk. From me go mention party business now, me can't say nothing about it, Rasta. Eh? What kind of thing this? Where them I put with that, Rasta? Eh? Where them I put with that? Them stop Sizzler from going through the airport in England, Rasta. What is this? Alright now. So Capleton now, I said, never in a film history of performance, him get so much publicity. And he sees who are giving the publicity now. The homosexuals, them are giving the start out the publicity for him. And him did publicize them in the beginning, and now them start to publicize him. You know what I'm saying? It's a serious alliance, so, alright. Capleton believes the controversy surrounding reggae artists and their homophobic lyrics has been blown out of proportion. All right, keep it and give time. All right, next period. He said last week, the problem is that it is impossible to translate Jamaican patois into standard English. In Jamaica, an entertainer will perform at a show, and when he comes out the stage, if his performance was good, he might say, I murdered the crowd. It doesn't mean he literally killed his audience, likewise. A taxi driver who has just dropped off a customer might say, I've just shot a customer. But it doesn't mean it literally. That's just how it talks. All right, Capleton might not mean literal because him says metaphorical in attack. Well, obviously fire is metaphorical in most language because the Bible say, John say, I baptize you in water, but there's one coming who I will baptize in the Holy Spirit and with fire. It now means that John the Baptist is going to put Jesus in a fire. You know, see, there's a metaphorical language. So Capleton is understanding this metaphorical language, you know. But I don't believe, say, if a man say, gunshot, either boom bye, either Batman head, if him talk metaphorically, I don't believe that. I don't believe what a man has say, inform if he dead. He might tell you, say, boy, right now, if you see something wrong, go on, you know if you tell no authority to rectify because you're dead. I know things in metaphorical language that you know, Rasta. All right.
You use them. Take it metaphorical.
No, definitely not. Yeah, all right. So we understand the metaphorical language that is used when it's a fire because we come here fire. I know Rasta start the fire thing. At church people, we hear church people are sing about brim fire and brimstone and God go burn you up in the bottomless pit and all these things and hell and damnation and all them things there. So the fire did it a long time, you know. All right. So all we do know is put it by record and popularize it. And it come like say no, we are the cruel persons. You know, see it. Anytime we talk about fire, them things say, so this way I are. Yeah, them hear it on radio. Alright, so Capleton now comments follow a week of controversial debate surrounding reggae artists and their lyrics. Last week a UK tour by another controversial reggae icon, Sizzla Kalonji, was cancelled after newspaper reports linked reggae music with the death of David Marley, a gear barman in London who was beaten to death following a spate of robberies. You know what them are doing now? I can tell you what them are doing. This is serious thing going on, you know. They are spreading propaganda in England that we are killing homosexuals. In Jamaica, we're running them down and killing them. Yeah. And the homosexuals who leave Jamaica and go to England is saying that is true. That is what is happening, you know. That is why it come on CNN this morning, you know. Yes, it's lie. It's lie. Nobody now identify no homosexuals who go beat them Rasta. We say it. Watch out, man. We will say it once and we will say it twice. Most homosexuals that dead is them boy kill them.
And most man in Jamaica know a homosexual.
Yes. Him now run him down. Alright. Marley Aguirre. 6 youths, 2 white boys, 2 white girls, and 2 black boys have been arrested over Marley's killing. Home Secretary David Blunkett officially banned Sizzla, real name Miguel Collins, from Britain last Thursday. Police slammed media reports that linking reggae music to Marley's murder. A Met spokesman told New Nation the inquiries we have conducted since complaints were made regarding certain lyrics and the seeking of advice from the CPS with regard to them is a wholly separate matter to the recent murder inquiry on the South Bank. The 2 matters are unconnected and concern officers from completely different departments. Reggae producer Blacker Dread of Black Music Council was surprised by the cancellation of the Sizzla tour. He told New Nation last week, I was amazed when I read the reports in the national press associating the killing of a gay man with reggae music. There's no link between reggae and the killing of David Marley. I think it's disgusting that the reggae death, the tragic death of a human being, regardless of whether he is gay or not, should be used as a weapon against reggae music. Gay rights activists claim the popularity of 8 reggae artists, Capleton, Sizzla, Bushmant, and Tisdoeda. In the 8, T.O.K., Vibes Cartel, and Elephant Man is responsible for 10 5% rise in homophobic assaults over the past year, although they are yet to come up with any proof to back their assertion. I think what you say? We have weapons of mass destruction. we have weapons of homo destruction. It's a serious thing, you know. It's a serious thing. But all right, the point when we really are trying to make is this, no, because we have come down where it started. We just started for it. It started, yeah. Because we have bring the thing to the nitty gritty. What we talk like here? We soon take advertisement. Watch out now. The point is this: that we have been speaking continuously that these artists is promoting the homosexuals. We keep saying it over and over. And if we keep promoting the homosexuals, them going to become like what we want to make them become, you know. Now, the homosexual is so big now that they are giving our artists the biggest promotions them ever get in their career. You know, see it?
True to them issue.
Yeah. So it's a thing that we have to really check. Do you really want
the level of power where them have and the reach where them have?
Do you really want to say that you give thanks for the homosexuals for big job? I mean, you know, because the homosexuals them feel good for no say them a get big up. You know, see it? It's a thing. So we have to really check it. Now, in the 80s, you know, when Shabba Ranks come out and talk, it was gun lyrics and it was who about.
It's like you would have said then
I know, get big, you know. Ladies are big artists, you know. Same thing Shadow, you know, them banner from down the south. Yeah. See it? Alright now. In the 80s, though, you know, in the 80s, Shabba Ranks it come as one of them what they call obscene artists. We get big. Yeah. Like ladies are now get big, you know. Ladies are big artists, you know. Same thing Shadow, you know, them banner from down the south. Yeah. Down a Montego Bay, you know. Yeah. But she no business. She just go and do what she do and now she get big. So look when you saw you, everybody has said, boy, if she have a number one tune on Billboard, you know, like that. Like that day we had talk about Hillel, you know. The first thing them say about Hillel, you know. Them say, them will tell you about the whole of Hillel, Israel Hillel, they hear them now. Sean Paul, who has gained international recognition, was a past student of Hillel. You think them would have said that? No. You think them would have said that if him never said millions out there? Them nah say that, you know. Because for them Sean Paul lyrics is not much to be desired. Dirty Cup crew and all them today. Them nah go say that. But it's true now internationally. Him can give 5 million to poor relief and all them something there. Him get big. So the same thing with Shabba Ranks now. Shabba Ranks come with the nastiest lyrics them. And everybody loves Shabba Ranks. Alright now. Shabba Ranks have a tune named Dembow. I used when that tune get big, every man starts singing who are eat on a table. Who, for those of you who don't know what eat on a table is for foreigner, it's called oral sex. Right? Oral sex in Jamaica is called eat on a table. I don't know why the man become a table, but I don't know why the man, I don't think we eat pants up on the table. Eat on a 2-foot table, but in the 80s it was a big thing, you know. It was a big thing. Yeah. Every artist come on stage and I said, all who knows them no bow put up them on. And all who knows them no this put up that. And watch a man.
No, it's still going.
In the 2000, we that when show your article where we book up in the newspaper. It's a serious thing. The article said from them bow to take. Yeah. Alright. Part of the article said, it was not so long ago that practitioners of oral sex were the target of DJ's wrath, with death advocated as the punishment for those who went below the 2-foot table. The man used to come on stage and dead to end, just like what the matter what women say, the dead to any man where suck woman and this and that, you know. Alright. These days, there is a much more relaxed stance, at least, on receiving the once taboo act. Given it. Nobody has pushed that so far. Shabba Ranks had the classic anti-oral sex song in Dembow, coming out in the early 1990s. Dembow took no prisoners, as it said. That was serious stuff indeed. However, just over 10 years later, I can turn on my television and see Vibes Cartel in full flight on RETV chanting out the lyrics to take. And when he hits the part about the doorknob, he allows the screaming woman at the front to alaba that a go cause you a blow job. That means you can't say that past stage, you know. 10 years ago, if you say that past stage, you know, man, stab you in your neck, you know. Yeah, they are not old, they are not hiding. They look most enthusiastic, as they are certainly not ashamed. This is a hell of a turnaround, considering that in the mid-1990s, Lady Saw said on the Joyride rhythm, it was under the sycamore tree. A boy want me fi bow and me tell him fi flee. Looking back, the closest I can identify as a turning point in the male attitude to receiving oral sex, at least on record, was when Baby Sham questioned which girl and which girl say she nah duck right, you know, at that run the cut. Me
which girl and which girl say she nah
which girl and which girl say them nah, yeah.
Run the cut.
Yeah. Me hear them turn over when me girl a clean when she get the style that was. It's a serious thing. He got a little flack from 1 and 2 DJs, but there was no huge furor. In the new millennium, Cecile comes with a song and video about the woman's joy at receiving oral sex, urging the men to do it to me baby. Back then, it was hard to imagine a time when receiving oral sex would be so openly discussed on record. But the future is here, however, given it is still very much taboo, as Cartel and Beenie Man remind all that the speed limit for sex is 68. For other that comes 69.
Yeah. And recently too, Missy Elliott did have a song where get very popular in Jamaica and now still popular, about lick it. Lick it and, you know.
But remember the tune that Get High?
Yeah.
Get High?
Yeah.
It couldn't play for radio, you know. But I want to tell you now, this is serious because watch you know. Oral sex is taboo in Jamaica. And it was made, you see, not about the popularity or people promote things, you know. People feel them a fight against things. People feel them a fight against something, but them really are alright. So the DJ them come and them talk about oral sex and man for dead and man for this, man. Just like what them talk about homosexuality. Now, if you talk about that, it no make no woman what did I look at in a funny way?
In other words, then what you say is that just like how oral sex come now, be like almost
anything. Little more the bottom man, them going to come like anything. Yeah, that's so. So when you talk about it now, it will come like nothing. Yeah. You know, see? Which is that's what I lead to now.
Become acceptable to.
Is that will come
look at? Even some people who never did acceptable to before.
So you see the psychology of the thing now. You see the psychology of the thing now, because you can fight against something by living your culture. The greatest revolution, you know, is to live your culture, you know. Because everything told me when you live
fight against a homosexual, them just sing song to love up your woman.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah.
Sing song for stop.
Love my woman.
It's a serious thing when we think on it, because look at now, you talk about oral sex to some woman or a man. Man love take it than give it, you know. Him not say nothing with taking it, you know, but him say something with giving it. You know see? But now when man talk about it, it's like I know nothing again, you know.
And most women say them get it, and most men say them not get it.
So who I get it? That thing. This is the
most of them youth, you know, don't see the music as, you know, proper, you know. Them see the music as a way out of poverty, a way out of getting a car, a way out of getting a house, a way out of looking for them family. So it's not like say them have used the music as music. It's a means to an end them a deal with now, say, why if them could have get big like this artist and that the artist say, and no matter what it takes, them go and go do it. So them have a principle that them a follow. Them have a thing where say it's poverty them a work with. So when you come now with your argument about, you know, reflection of ideas and things, Even if them don't see it in them community, them see it on the TV, them see it on the iPhone Wednesday night. It's warmish part right there, but it's cold outside there. Believe you me. Serious cold are going on. Why you up all the people them who work at night, you know. Yeah, we are talking about the security guard them, the dressmaker them, the carpenter them, the mechanic them. Why you up all the man them who are patch tire up on the roadside. What them want to do with it. Yeah, man, we're there with you. We're there with you. So we'll go through the paces. Them call it Woman Month. Everybody have a month now, you know. Everybody have a month me need in them time, yeah. By the way, we were supposed to talk to Cardell Green at the night, yeah, you know. Anybody know who named Cardell? Yeah, from the Broadcasting Commission. Supposed to talk to him at the night, yeah. But I think coming up, yeah, it's tomorrow too. The thing is tomorrow. We're going to take the first break with you upon the cutting edge. We have a guest up on the radio, you know, it's long time. We don't talk to him on the year. Good afternoon, Mr. Green.
Yes, the great Mutabaruka. It has been in the making for a long time.
Look, man, all your people, I'm going to say you're old man, you can't talk to them over up on radio.
I don't know. You need to link me directly.
Them talk to me like, why you want to that late? Late, man, like him gone to in bed.
No, sir. You know better than that.
Anyway, for those of you who don't know who I talk to, this is the man where if you play a tune bad of the night, you get reprimanded by him, Cardell Green from the Broadcasting Commission. Also, him deal with television too, and all the things them that not supposed to be aired at certain times of the night too. So, apart from that, we want to talk to him, but we want to talk to him about something that is going to happen tomorrow, where apparently him get me involved in. I don't know how me reach this. So you can just explain to the people them what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yes, Muta. No, well, a man like you as a historian, philosopher, deep in the music, this kind of discussion cannot take place without people like you. This is a public forum, which is going to be on the internet tomorrow from 9:30 in the morning to 11. And I want people to hear what we're going to be talking about. The topic is bridging generational gaps, safe and healthy consumption of content. And that includes music. Lots of weighty things there. Safe and healthy invites wide subjectivity. And this thing about bridging generational gaps is about the need for us to understand each other, the generations. It is very, very difficult for us to build a society, build a community, program radio and television, and even the social media, through younger people who are coming into the world with different perceptions, and we, the older ones who must guide or work along them, are strangers. We need to know what frequency the youths are on, what are they thinking, why they gravitate to certain lyrics, why they react differently to different lyrics and sound. In other words, we are picking up that apart from the fact that we do know that there is a problem, we do know that we have harmful content and problematic content. Apart from that, we also know that there is a lot of judgment that goes on. Younger people judging older people judging younger people. And we might not all agree on what is good or bad music. But I really do believe that if the generations start to talk together, we would understand that speech-created harms are real and challenging to address. And that issue did not begin with the current generation. Sometimes when we talk about the social issues and we talk about music and challenges we have with the music, we get too optimistic, some of us in a certain generation, too optimistic about the rightness of what we have to say, and too pessimistic about what other people are saying, even if it sounds like foolishness. I was reflecting the other day, I was reading something, Muta, from the great Eric Clapton. And here that brother says something that really caused me to reflect. He said it took him more than 30 years, plus many people dying. He saw people like Jimi Hendrix die, Janis Joplin die. 30 years, he said it took him, plus those people dying, for him to realize as an artist that he has a responsibility to society. So we definitely need to reason with the people who are 16 and 17 and 18 and 19, just finding their footing. We have to reason with them about the expectations that we have as artists, because a lot of these youth don't come out and say them project themselves or set themselves up to be anybody priest or anybody parent. They go through their own struggle when they're going studio, and them I go through for them thing, nobody don't see them. As soon as they come out with their music, everybody spotlight them. And we have to have a conversation with them to remind them about this phenomenal gift that they have as players of instruments, and to have a conversation about what is the purpose, really, of the arts. What's the purpose? Yes, you have to question through music and lyrics. You should challenge the status quo through music and lyrics. That is what Bob Marley did and Peter Tosh. You are supposed to reflect, yes, reflect what is going on through music and lyrics, but you're also supposed to enlighten. And so the conversation really is there a lack of balance? Meaning, are we doing too much reflection? We are reflect wagwan. Whatever we observe, how we see man treat with mother, or we observe man treat at a woman, or how man behave with them gun, what we got through in our socialization. You have a lot of youth who come and they put out the worst thing when certain people receive it. And you talk to them about it and they say, I am reflecting reality. But what is the point of reflecting evil if you are not at the same time seeking to enlighten and to question your own experiences? So that is really the context of this dialogue. And you ask me, how a man like Mutabaruka coming to this, who else could moderate a conversation like that? It requires a certain intellectual depth and diplomatic dexterity and also respect across generations. And I don't believe anybody would question that.
I can say something here. The idea of telling a youth, say, him reflecting too much. Most of them youths, don't see the music as proper, them see the music as a way out of poverty, a way out of getting a car, a way out of getting a house, a way out of looking for them family. So it's not like say them have used the music as music. It's a means to an end them a deal with now, say, why if them could have get big like this artist and that the artist say, and no matter what it takes, them go and go do it. So them not have a principle that them a follow. Them have a thing where say it's poverty them a work with. So when you come now with your argument about, reflection of ideas and things, even if them don't see it in them community, them see it on the TV, them see it on the iPhone and the laptop and all them something there. It's a bounce back at them, and them say, but this is something where them can use to come out of poverty. So how you deal with a youth like that we don't see it as music? Because nowadays, a whole heap of the thing that we are going on is not music. It's just something them do, and that something create a vibes and an attitude. And them get money out of it, and then them say, yeah, them reach there. How you deal with that?
Well, by starting with saying, they are not the only ones who did say music that way. They are not the only ones who see other people and said, that is the lifestyle I want. They are not the only ones who said, I am only going to reflect what is my experience. This has been going on from time immemorial with music. If you go back to when Bob Marley was their age, there was a similar dialogue going on about whatever it was that he was communicating.
Rude boy.
Or exactly. And until people took the time to hear, not just hear, but listen to the message, they could have misunderstood burning and looting tonight. Right? I mean, if Bob Marley in 2025 had been 17 years old and release a song where him said, I feel like bombing a church, know that I know the preacher is lying, that ban. No question at all about it. That is not classic music. That is heresy. That is how it would be received. So we need to have the conversation. And the reason I pointed you to Eric Clapton is to make this is a massive artist, as you know. Massive. Revered. And if he says it took him 30 years and the death of Hendrix and Chaplin, this great artist, it took him all of that time to realize his responsibility as an artist. Then we have to understand that the youths are coming with a lot of limitations as well as a lot of capabilities. And if the conversation doesn't take place, all you're going to have is alienation. I want to tell you something. You said a while ago, and I will agree with you, and a lot of people listening right now will agree with you, what putting out right now, a music that there's no melody. Well, I am telling you something. There are no youths who are 14, 15, 16, 17. When me and you pass on muta, and them youth who are 14, 15, 16, 17, when them turn 45 and 50 years old, may I bet you say, them a sit down in a corner as old man, and them a go say, music we're playing now in 2016, and a good music. Back in my day, when King and Tommy Lee and Chronicler and Skilly Bang and Craft and family start. When them man they I make music, and the best music. When me I hear now and the music. No, there's going to be some truth in the continuity across generations. We have to have some measure of determining what is of high quality and low quality. But the point I'm making is that there's a lot of subjectivity in that. Music is a personal thing. And so I believe there is more to be gained, in a conversation. Just a conversation about what are your perceptions, where you understand by certain things. Because sometimes you listen to them people. Just a few weeks ago, I was at the Jamaica Pegasus as a speaker at a big meeting organized by the Ministry of Culture. One of the people who them bring as a speaker was Valiant. It's the first time I sit down and actually listen to that youth on a stage. The whole thing was organized for young people. And his talk was one of the most motivational, powerful talks I'd ever heard of a young person talking to other young person. But it's the same man who put out Fully Dance. So there needs to be a conversation with him. What was your intent? I mean, did you mean harm? Or is it that when you put out them song there, the truth is enough youth gravitate towards it. Because we're at school and we know that some people sit down in the back and they're not paying no attention. And somehow we can connect them to that kind of music. But I don't know. But that conversation has to take place. And I want to tell you something, Muta. When I heard Valiant at the Pegasus talking to those students and all the controversy that went on about his song, which, by the way, he did not do and he didn't speak about, it struck me. You know, perhaps the principals and the teachers should have a conversation with him before they condemn. And even if they don't have a conversation with him, don't go down the route of alienation. If I was a principal and Valiant put out Fully Done and me see my student, them a gravitate towards that. May I tell you, Muta at devotion, may I come out and greet them and enough for them language. If they call themselves dog, may I come out and may I say morning to on a dog because on a principal there, fully done, me fully done in lateness, me fully done in mediocrity, me fully done in bad parenting, me fully done in man beat in woman, me fully done in rich quick, me fully done in shopping, me fully done in the one get rich quick and drive car and me no want work. Me fully done in sell your body. Me fully done in bleaching. You see where I'm going?
You way I say, I don't know if I see where you're going, but I hear where I say.
Reverse psychology. But it's not going to happen if, first of all, we don't open ourselves to a total dismissal as distinct from, let me see how we can turn this around, or at least try to get an understanding. What socialization led to this output? What trauma led to this output?
The socialization is that we are now more exposed to outside influence that take a hold of a cultural expression in a Jamaica. You know, the fashion, the way we talk, the way we eat, the way we drink, and the way we relate to each other is totally different. When 50 years ago and I hear certain tune, I never said them tune, that was foolishness, you know. I used to listen to what my mother listened to, I never used to call her song them foolishness. As a matter of fact, I did find myself, I love them, that I start collect them. So when I youth hear all certain song now, I play a part one time and I play Dennis Brown and the little daughter come to me and say, we can play some reggae. So I say, so what you call this? She say, you don't know, we could have just play some reggae. And that is a kind of a need for understand, but don't want to know something out of your set. Because really and truly, I never used to complain about when my mother listened to. I know say them youth, if you put on something where me personally I listen to now, I'm going to tell you say what kind of song that you play. When you play some, you know, our kind of music.
And it behoves us to reflect on that, because the music education, you remember some years ago when this youth Depan Digital Rising Star sing a whole heap of Jimmy Cliff song. I can't remember his name now. He was the one who was up against Christopher Martin. And he was singing a lot
Virtue.
Nadi Virtue. Who that, Shane?
Yeah, man.
Hey, you're right.
Yeah, man, we're good, man.
Yeah, man, Nadi Virtue,
yes.
matter about.
Yes, Nadi Virtue, right. And I heard, I think it's Frankie Campbell from Fab 5 told me the story that Jimmy Cliff go up to the university to be honored by the university, and Jimmy Cliff, when he got the honorary doctorate, started to perform, and you have some
song.
A quarrel if him not have no original song for himself.
Yeah, it's another version. That I'm to Babandi too.
Well, it's music education, Muta. We talk about the youth and what they are lacking in. I agree with you entirely about your parents' music. I didn't grow up listening to my parents' music, because from the time I knew myself, my mother was a staunch 70 Adventist. So nothing don't play in my house that is secular music. But I know what you're talking about, because my daughter, when she was very young, me play Burning Spear in my car, and even if she never liked it, maternity and a gimmickry and a dance, and I say I'm a favorite artist, and I flash my head like me have locks, and she laugh and she find it funny. And now you go and you ask her if she know Peter Tosh, if she know Burning Spear, if she know Heineken Mose, she going to say yes, but it's not her generation. So, but there are also a lot of different things that's going on now, Muta. You talking about parenting and relationship with your mother and relationship with your father in a particular context where you were parented. Whole heap of youth growing up now, they are barrel children. Them not grow up with the mother. Them move around from auntie to uncle to cousin. And even if they are in the house with their parents, they are strangers. They are on a device in a them bedroom, and the parents are in a device in their bedroom. So that kind of opportunity to influence, particularly Muta, at a very young age, when they sap up everything. Right now, you got to talk to a whole heap of parents, and what I'm going to tell you is how for them baby brilliant, because the baby don't even talk yet, and the baby can control the iPad and find them cartoon and watch what them want and TikTok and that kind of thing. There is
I'm not talking about that. The parents, I use the picnic, when I want to say picnic, the daughter clothes for go at the same dance where the daughter go. And sometimes the parents and the daughter buck up in the same dance hall and do the same kind of dance.
True.
You know, so all of that is something where we have to confront. But I want to go back to something. It's just weird that you mentioned Eric Clapton. I don't know yet, but I hear. So you have to tell me because you are the broadcasting man. I hear that on the ban, I shot the sheriff.
Total foolishness.
A foolishness?
Total fool. Just like
You serious?
Yes, Muta, just like how Queen Africa say, Daddy don't touch me there. She here say it ban that broadcasting commission ban.
No go so.
No go so. But
no, me actually say if you don't do nothing else tonight, you do something tonight. If you don't do nothing else tomorrow, you do something tonight.
Yeah.
Daddy don't touch me there. It's not a banned song by the broadcasting commission.
So look, let me tell you something. I would have resigned if something like that happened. That would have been total foolishness.
I shot the sheriff is not a band song.
No, there is no basis. You see, let me tell you something. What is happening is that you have a lot of people who don't understand context and word and meaning.
Yeah.
Them don't understand, for example, why you have a youth sing, where all of them did come and, Egyptian sing, a hypocrite, him sing, she give me the tightest hole me ever get in my life, and that no ban. And I said, reflect on what Egyptian is singing. And he's not the first one. Me want me pianist. Me need me pianist. You bring intelligence to music.
Yeah. Like the California and them. The California have a way to do that.
Yes, it's about context. Long time girl may never see you. Come make me hold your hand. We don't say she held me tight. She hold me tight, girl. Right? No. Other people say it's a different hole in my sing about. But there's no way in which the Broadcasting Commission could come to that conclusion when you look at the word that he used in relation to other words.
Cardell Green.
Yes, sir.
Cardell Green. She and I listen to you, and 100,000 people out there listen to you tonight. You are now telling Mutabaruka upon the cutting edge that I shot the sheriff and Daddy is not a banned tune by the Broadcasting Commission. I
am telling you that. And I'm going to go further and tell you something. You know, one of the reasons Broadcasting Commission don't ban songs, and that's the other thing though. People say, ban. Broadcasting Commission don't deal with artists. We deal with you. In fact, we don't even deal with Mutabaruka. We deal with the license holder for IRFM.
Yes, the station.
You understand what I'm saying? Here what now. Let me tell you something. You know, my personal experience, it hasn't happened recently, but my personal experience, two things. You have an artist one time, we got TVJ, go do an interview, and the artist do the interview at the same time, and the artist tell me personally, say, informer management go to the newspaper and report say Broadcasting Commission banning song as a marketing strategy. 1. 2. Media Broadcasting Commission one time with a woman pester me about a certain song. That nothing play on radio and blah blah blah. Never hear about the song yet. Nobody don't know about the song yet. Fair song. She try create controversy. So banning a song is the greatest marketing gift that can be given to an artist. So that's the first thing that is foolish about the notion that Broadcasting Commission ban. We don't, and people come all the time, we must put out a list of banned songs. We don't deal with artists. You have a responsibility as Mutabaruka. Shane has a responsibility at your level, just as I did when I was on radio. And ultimately, the station owners, we are the gatekeepers. The artist is not the gatekeeper. The artist is not even the gate man. So we don't really deal with artists. We reference the artists, whether good or bad. So if somebody complains, Egyptian. She gave me the tightest hole in my life, and that is slackness. And the Broadcasting Commission is obligated in law to look at it. It's a quasi-judicial body, and to adjudicate. And the station is told,
yes,
we have examined the song, and for these reasons, there's no violation of any
I understand
regulation.
you clearly. I understand you clearly.
Yeah.
Shane.
Man, may I hear you?
Where's Shane there?
Yes, man. Me there, man.
Shane, did you hear, or is you make it up, say, I Shot the Sheriff was banned?
No, I never hear that. But me there do a little search because something in my mind, I tell me say there was a thing with the Queen Ifrica.
Yeah, Queen Ifrica want to come to Queen Ifrica.
Yeah, man. So
I was told that Queen Ifrica song that it was banned. That I start to play the Spanish version.
Yeah.
No, sir. How could you ban a song that is saying
Yes.
incest?
That me I said too. That me I was totally taken aback.
Incest. A topic that is kept under the rug, and you have one artist. I cannot recall any other artist in the world, more so a female artist, to so frontally
Yes.
deal with a challenging topic.
Yes.
And, well, let me tell you something. The song I know come out when I was executive director at the Broadcasting Commission. So unless it was an executive director before me and another version of that song, there is absolutely no basis. Nothing said. Incest, daddy, don't touch me there. I'm going to tell on you one day, I swear. You're supposed to be my father. What in that could violate? And I want to tell you something. Let me go further. It would be a foolish holder of a broadcast license and a weak on-air announcer who would not challenge that openly and also through litigation. That to me would be the clearest case to challenge on the basis of freedom of expression not being violated.
Virgin, I'm glad to talk to you.
Figure bring the evidence. Figure bring the evidence.
Me could go back to tomorrow. What happen tomorrow?
9 o'clock, Muta. We are saying if you're not registered yet, go to any social media handle with the Broadcasting Commission at Broadcasting Commission. 9:30 to 11. Muta will be moderating a discussion on bridging generational gaps, safe and healthy consumption of content. And you're going to hear the MC is Archibald Garden from TVJ News. The great Clyde Mackenzie is going to speak. The great Wayne Chen, who is the author of Reggae Roots, the story of Jamaican music, is a speaker. The great Andrea Dempster Chung, the co-founder of Kingston Creative. Two young people bringing their perspective. One of them, Courtney Jackson. Courtney, a young artist, the late Karen Smith and Jackie Jackson's daughter. And then you have a youth who is the guild president up at the university, and a social media influencer and a young gospel artist named Perry Cummings. Perry in Christ. So it should make for a wonderful discussion.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. And as you say, it starts at
9:30.
9:30.
9:30 until 11.
Yeah, so so I have to come out because I have to step in razor tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon.
Yes,
I I have to be back here to set up for the stepping razor.
Yes, man. You will be good. Don't worry about it.
So,
yes,
Cardell, I want you to give thanks, you know, and trust me, if you don't do nothing tonight, you do something tonight. And
well,
that
I'm happy about that.
Even though I play the Spanish version, you know, because I don't want to get the station, and no problem.
No, sir.
But
no,
now that
sir.
you
no,
say
sir.
coming from the,
yes.
I don't know if it's an ass or I don't know which mouth it come from.
No harsh. May we take personal responsibility.
No. They don't want to take the whole world here. You say that.
May I tell you something. Let me be very frank with you. It would be diabolical, near heresy. I cannot hear anything in Daddy Don't Touch Me there.
I know you're it neither. I know you're not in the football.
Would justify it not being played. You know what I think? I believe you have people who, for whatever reason, don't want to play that song, and the easiest thing for them to say is Broadcasting Commission said don't play. Yeah, easiest thing.
I want to tell you about the next one where I hear to them band too. But I will Uno band. You know, that told me so she get it from a letter from, I don't know which part she get it. And you know the tune by Dennis Brown named Caress Me?
No.
Yeah, a tune Dennis Brown sing Caress Me, girl. Them say she not play it.
Love me, girl. No, me not.
Yeah, all right. Well, you can't go Google it when you don't talk, and tomorrow me play it for you. So we want to give thanks, you know, Cardell. We give thanks.
Every time, anytime, Muta. Respect.
All right, so tomorrow we'll deal with it.
Shane!
Yeah, man. Bless up, Cardell.
One love.
Yeah,
Take
man.
it easy. All right.
Okay, that was Cardell Green from the Broadcasting Commission. And the whole world hear him say it, you know. I'm so glad that I bring it up, you know. Daddy, Don't Touch Me Dear is not, and I repeat, it's not a band song. It can be played on the radio. I Shot the Sheriff is not a band song. It can be played on the radio. Take it, tell them, say, you hear it from Muta program. If you know where I get yourself in, no problem. Tell them, say, you hear it Muta program from the highest authority. The highest authority from the Broadcasting Commission. We want to play this clip. It's a clip with an American white man and a native from Turtle Island. We call America Turtle Island because that's what them call it. I don't know how much you know, but Manhattan is an island. Yeah, Manhattan is an island. And one of the biggest real estate scam was that Manhattan was sold for $25. You know, you hear me say? Manhattan was sold for $25. I think it's $24 too, if I'm not making a mistake. But we want to play this clip here. Listen.
The United States government is offering you a piece of land of your own.
We have
Like that.
Then how can they own it?
He has a point. Of your country to take care of you.
You are not my country.
Mr. Durant, if we could just...
To a interview. I don't know how much I know this woman named Chiombori. She's always saying some things about Africa. As a matter of fact, she's from Africa. But it's not often Jackie give me something to play upon the radio. And I listen to it and I say, I'm going to play it. And it have to connect it to the Trumpado with this USAID. So those of you who don't know what USAID mean, maybe you should have really Google it, because if you don't know it now, it's a serious thing. It's an agency set up by America for international development, where them go and help people all over the globe who need help. But as you know, America not give nothing for nothing, you know. And sometimes it is all about what can you do for me, one and watch the other. We're going to play this. I must listen to it keenly, this interview here.
Hi, I'm Steve Clemens, and I have a question. With the termination of tens of billions of dollars of U.S. aid and humanitarian assistance to Africa and elsewhere around the world, is this going to create waves of tragedy? Let's get to the bottom line. Thousands of USAID workers and has terminated its programs and most global humanitarian assistance. There have been some exceptions for life-saving programs, but these are small waivers amidst an onslaught of huge, massive aid cuts. Africa stands out as the most impacted. But what may disappear? Humanitarian assistance, infrastructure support, medicine and food programs. These are all substantial for countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo, which receives about $1.34 billion each year. Ethiopia, which gets about $1.2 billion. Sudan, nearly $800 million. And other major grants going to Nigeria, to South Sudan, Kenya, Mozambique, Uganda, and more. But some see a silver lining in this gutting of U.S. support for the continent. With aid, they say, there has been substantial political meddling and resource exploitation that has demeaned and sidelined African empowerment and economic growth. So rather than trauma with the USAID cuts, there could be opportunity, they say. Today, we're talking with Ambassador Adikana Chihombori Kwao, a medical doctor and former permanent representative of the African Union to the United States. Ambassador, it is terrific to have you with me in stage here in studio. Let me just ask you, if I look through the USAID programs, some of which have been cut off, in Congo, there's an aid group, Action Against Hunger. This is they're treating tens of thousands of malnourished children. In Ethiopia, food assistance stopped for more than 1 million people, as we've seen these AID cuts go into force, really across the board with very, very few waivers. How is Africa feeling this moment? Do you see this as a story of tragedy, or is there something else that we need to be looking at?
I think there's something else we need to be looking at. There is need for readjustments. There is need for realignment. We need to understand the real reason why USAID is in Africa. And not just USAID, but other NGOs. You look at DFID, which is the British equivalent, and many other smaller ones. Their sole purpose was to act as if they're coming to rescue Africa. They're coming to fill in the gaps in government services, gaps in education, gaps in healthcare, gaps in humanitarian services. They're coming in the guise of addressing issues to do with human rights, issues to do with environmental protection and social justice. They are coming in claiming that they're introducing grassroots initiatives that are going to help the people. And so they use that as a way to go into the most remote parts of Africa. They're talking about government advocacy. When you look at it on paper, it all looks really good. But they're actually wolf in sheep's clothing. They are using that open access sounding humanitarian to constantly destabilize governments. I can tell you right now, the majority of African leaders, and not just African leaders, but leaders in the developing world, are celebrating the exit of USAID. I was listening to a program, I believe it was CNN, and I was jumping up and down. It was a government official from Hungary. He was echoing the same sentiments. He said they are happy USAID is leaving Hungary because they are always supporting opposition. Their form of government advocacy is supporting whoever can keep the government in a turmoil.
So, Ambassador, let me just jump in here for you. This is a message that I don't think many Americans hear. I think many Americans believe, not all of them, but many of them believe that AID was essentially set up for philanthropic reasons, for dealing with the HIV/AIDS crisis, dealing with the various instabilities in the region, dealing with infrastructure deficits. But you're saying that there was something else as part of that package, meddling.
A major meddling agenda. Major meddling agenda. The majority of some of the workers, now the average USAID worker may not realize it, but quite a few of them are also operatives who are underground. And their major agenda is to destabilize governments, destabilize countries. If you think about it, their sole purpose, for example, filling in the gaps in healthcare and education, where is the change? Show me one country that USAID was in and education improved. Show me what country where USAID was in and healthcare improved. the social services they're bringing, it's peanuts. The American taxpayer needs to know the billions of dollars that are being given to USAID, a fraction is making it to the people.
Look, one of the highest profile medicine programs is PEPFAR, which both Republicans and Democrats here in Washington are really having outcries about. It was one of the signature programs of President George W. Bush to try to respond to the HIV/AIDS epidemic in Africa. What's the view on that front?
Let's look at what HIV/AIDS was used to do. We know of a program that was run out of South Africa where they actually were injecting people with the virus. The reason some of the AIDS virus spread as rapidly as it did in Southern Africa, there were some very dirty games being played on African people. They were using Africans as guinea pigs for experimental activities. Even when you look at every aspect, they're using us as guinea pigs. Yes, there is some good, a percentage of some good, but not all of it is done with good intentions. You look at agriculture, they're destroying African agriculture by introducing those GMOs. You plant your seed in one season, your soil is finished. We used to have seeds that we can use from one season to the other. The introduction of GMOs through these agencies, USAID is one of them. We are destroying Africa in a massive way. A little good is coming out, but by and large, the end result, they mean no good. They can turn around and give us an inventory and say, as long as you have been in Africa and also other parts of the world, show us your success rate. You claim you are helping governments with education and healthcare. Show us your success rate. But I also turn around and say, African governments, why do you need this little aid to assist you in providing proper health care, proper education? The average African government can afford to provide those services for their people.
I happen to have many friends that work for USAID, both in the field but also in Washington. And I have to tell you, I know that they believe that they're doing good, that they're trying to move the needle for those that are in desperate situation and desperate conditions. I think it's very interesting to raise the question of what the other political purposes are. But as you sort of look at the scene now, the French are very big in aid programs. As you mentioned, the British, there are also Chinese aid programs. Are all of these programs essentially power plays and all of them need to be suspended? How do you see some of the other international programs in Africa now?
Well, these are all underground covert operations. Why does Africa need them? Why do we need them? Africa has been the provider. If you look at Europe, Europe cannot survive without Africa. One situation that people don't realize, post-World War, when the US came up with the Marshall Plan, what they don't tell you is that the contribution through exploitation of African minerals was actually the biggest funder of the European Recovery Plan, ERP, aka the Marshall Plan. US contributed $13 billion. Which is now present day $175 billion, which, by the way, the American taxpayer must be paid back. Nobody's asking for that money back. But what they don't tell you is that Africa, through exploitation of its resources by the Europeans, was actually a much bigger contribution to the European recovery post-World War II. Nobody talks about that. Why does such a continent that did so much to help Europe recover continue to be so poor? Let's be realistic here. Let's not talk about peanuts. Africa does not need the aid. What we need is for those who are exploiting Africa to stop. Africa has everything it needs. If Africa could have contributed as much as it did to the recovery of Europe post-World War II, why wasn't Africa equally developed?
So what happens next, Adikana? You and I have talked about this before, and the exploitation of minerals, of uranium, of cobalt, of nickel, etc., and many other rare earths, which is apparently very much on President Trump's mind, because we see the negotiation for rare earths with Ukraine. But you and I have talked about the artificially low prices and the fact that many economies in Africa don't participate in the gains and growth of the exploitation of those resources. What happens now when these aid programs are withdrawing? Does the social contract between, American mining operations or other global mining operations, does it give an opportunity for the power dynamic to shift and change? And what will that look like?
I think this is a wake-up call for the African leaders. To the same extent that President Trump is saying USA first, African leaders must also say Africa first. This is a wake-up call to the African leaders to take inventory of what is really happening in their countries. Do they really need the peanuts that are coming in as aid? What is really going out? If I may use the example of what happened in Niger when the government decided they were going to take over the mining of their uranium. The French companies that were mining the uranium were paying the government 80 cents a kilo for the uranium, and then turning around and selling the uranium to the rest of the world at 200 euros a kilo. So that one move from the Nigerian government to say we are now going to take ownership of our own uranium, they went from realizing about $1 billion in uranium resources to over 300 billion a year. Do you realize what I'm talking about? No amount of NGO could bring that kind of money. And this is only one mineral. Now imagine the country taking inventory of all their minerals and benefiting from their natural resources like the rest of the countries in the Western world. That is what African leaders need to look at.
Do you see that in the horizon of African leaders right now? Do you see them? Who do you see as the standout winners of that kind of change? And who do you think is still chasing AID contracts?
Let me tell you, we need to look at what's happening in Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. President Traore is standing up. He is saying the natural resources in Burkina Faso, they belong to the people of Burkina Faso. Niger is doing the same thing. Mali is doing the same thing. Every leader must look at what's happening in the Sahel nations to say, like anybody else, you must take care of your people. You have your natural resources. You have everything you need to take care of your people. Why do you continue to be beggars? Look at what is being brought in by not only USAID, but all the NGOs in your country. It's peanuts. It's a joke that the African leaders should continue to be beggars of peanuts when you are looking and allowing billions to get out of your country year in and year out, if not trillions, in natural resources that your people should be benefiting from. It is a wake-up call for African leaders to wake up and say, President Trump is saying, US first, America first. You too must say, your country first, because you have everything it takes. It is a joke. It is embarrassing to see I have not seen any African leader cry over USAID living. I can tell you for a fact, the average African leader privately is celebrating the exit of USAID because they know what is really going on.
Let me ask you a geopolitical question. And again, you and I have had the opportunity on the show to talk about it before, which is the relationship of the United States broadly with the African continent. Now, I realize the continent has a lot of different nations, different countries that are part of it. But President Trump is not known to care much about Africa. He has talked about it in very derogatory language. His comments about USAID have had nothing to do with Africa. They've had to do with downsizing the scale of government and the perception of corruption and policies that are not consistent with his own. He's not framed any of this in terms of African needs or whatnot. So when you think about that, what do you think is the possibility of changing the dynamics of the relationship between the Trump administration and African leaders when it doesn't seem to be on his radar screen?
To be honest with you, why should African leaders care? Why should Trump care about Africa? He shouldn't care about Africa to the same extent that the African leaders really shouldn't care about a relationship either. If the relationship can be worked out, that's wonderful. But if President Trump is saying, I have a mandate from my own people to take care of my people, and I'm doing what I need to do to take care of my people,